Okay, hello and welcome everybody to Sharon and I's third webinar. And tonight the topic is navigating energies. And we chose this topic because we both feel, and I'm sure you all do, that we're just being blasted by solar flares, the Schumann resonance going crazy. And we wanted to talk about that, why that's happening to us, how come we're being affected so much by it, and what we can do to heal. Okay, so first of all, what we want to do for this webinar is do an opening of energies and a protection, and we're going to do that at the beginning of every webinar going forward, and also we're going to close the webinar at the end as well. So if you just want to close your eyes before we get started, and we'll just quickly do an open and protect. Okay. So we're just going to ask for 4 archangels to come in and guard the 4 corners of our space whilst we do this webinar. So Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Michael, guarding the 4 corners of our space whilst we take part in this webinar tonight. And asking Archangel Michael to provide a spiritual filter to all of the devices that we're using tonight to watch this webinar on. And for this filter to only allow the highest light and highest vibration energies to come through and work with us tonight. And as a group, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the recording of this webinar, we're just going to join together energetically now our energies. So imagining our heart chakras fully opening now to the energy and vibration of love. And imagining a silver thread moving in a clockwise direction through all of our heart chakras and joining us together. And keeping that connection as we go through this webinar tonight. And thanking anybody from our spiritual teams that's here to guide us tonight, thanking them for joining us. Okay, thank you. So now we're protected, we shall carry on. I just need to let some more people in. There we go. Okay. So as we said, tonight we're going to be talking about these crazy energies. So even today, we've had solar flares hit us. So you may have noticed that it's been quite windy, particularly, well, here today in the UK it has. That's because solar flares hit us yesterday, and we'll be talking about that in a bit. But first of all, let's introduce me and Sharon. So I'm Rebecca, most of you know me, mum to 3 children, including a crazy boxer dog called Henry, who I'm sure you see on my social media if you follow me. He's like tied to me all the time. So I'm an Akashic Records practitioner mainly, and I work with people one-to-one doing Akashic Records readings, so past life stuff and telling you information about your soul. Plus I do these webinars with the lovely Sharon. We try and do one once a month, and also do a lot of free meditations on YouTube, and there's a lot of activity in my private Facebook group. So I provide weekly soul guidance, and once a month I do a challenge, and my next challenge is on the 7th of July. If you want to join, we're going to be doing a 7-day Meet Your Spirit Guide challenge, embracing the number 7 if you didn't notice. 7th of July, 7 days. So when you get the email at the end of this webinar with this recording on, there'll be a link to my private Facebook group if you want to join that. So that's kind of what I do, and I'll let Sharon introduce herself.
Hi, I didn't know you were doing that, Rebecca. That sounds amazing. That 7-day challenge.
Yes,
I love that.
You'll have to join in with it. I know you're not on Facebook much.
I know, I'll have to sort my Facebook life out and make sure I join that. But yeah, I'm Sharon, also a mum of 3. Got an 8-year-old and then a 6 and 3-year-old, and 2 of them are sick at the moment. So yeah, I think even all these energies that come in affect children so much as well. So I'm a Reiki healer. I practice Uzui Reiki. I incorporate crystals and angels into that. I read tarot, but it's mainly for myself and friends. And sometimes, depending on if you've had a Reiki session for me, if I feel drawn to pull cards for you, then I do. Yeah, so I make crystal candles. So I've got a lovely Etsy shop, and like my stock on there is growing. So I think I've got like 77 items on there. So I was really like excited about that the other day. Yeah, so I'm just on this spiritual journey, doing these webinars with Rebecca, and kind of seeing where it takes me. You know, if I can, like, you know, take off my life with this work and this healing, and I love it.
I can tell you love it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to talk about every single energy that affects us, but obviously we've only got an hour and a half. So I'm going to focus on just solar flares and Schumann resonance tonight. But obviously other things affect us, don't they? Like collective energy, planetary alignment, the moon cycle big time. And we're aware that it's new moon. I think it's 2:52 a.m. tomorrow morning. So hopefully you all know what to do on a new moon. Create those crystal grids for your manifestations. But yeah, there's so many things that can affect our energy on a daily basis. But I feel the biggest thing that's affecting me at the moment, it might be the same with you, is solar flares and Schumann resonance. And by the way, feel free to chip in at any point during this webinar. You can either put your question in the chat or take yourself off mute and just join in, because what we often find is every single person that attends the webinar has got something really useful that we can all learn from. So feel free to join in. So let's first of all, before I tell you more about what solar flares are and the Schumann resonance, talk about why we are affected by these energies. Why are we? Well, I really love that statement by Albert Einstein there about everything being energy. As soon as you understand that everything is energy, you'll understand why we are affected by these things. So crystals have energy, and we're going to talk about those today. Inanimate objects have energy. So my lighter has energy. This pen has energy. Cucumbers have energy and emit light photons. We emit light photons. There's a professor called Professor Fritz Popp, a German professor, and he's created a machine that can measure the amount of light that things emit. So everything's energy. We tend to think of ourselves as separate, don't we, to everybody and separate to the world, but we're not. And when we understand we're all energy, you understand that we're all connected. So that's why I wanted to connect our energy together for this webinar, so we can create this amazing love vibration as we're learning. So there's a constant energy dance that goes on between the particles that our body is made up of. So I'm going to get a bit scientific here, and it's only because I'm studying a little bit of quantum physics, would you believe it? Because I'm training to be a quantum echo holographic healer. So our bodies are made up of subatomic particles. So that's your protons, electrons, and neutrons. And they're constantly dancing together. And when you learn about the way that they behave, it's fascinating. And by the way, if you want to learn more about this, because obviously I can't cover it all in this webinar, there's a great book by Lynn McTaggart called The Field. Lynn McTaggart, The Field, is a great book if you want to learn more about this. And she's also got great videos on YouTube, which are dead educational. Now, there's even a new type of science called chronoastrobiology that's been created to study energy and how it all ties together and how the sun affects us, how we're profoundly affected by things like the sun and the Schumann resonance. So even science is behind all of this as well. So I'm not just talking spiritual woo-woo stuff here. It's actually scientific explanations behind all of this. So that's why we are affected by these energies. So as humans, we have an electromagnetic field, and that is affected by things like solar flares on the left of the screen and Schumann resonance on the right of the screen. But first of all, I just wanted to go back to basics. And for those of you that don't understand what an actual solar flare is and what the Schumann resonance is, because I didn't in the beginning. So solar flares are basically solar activity on the sun. So you can see the sun on the left there. And the sun sends out flares every now and then. So yesterday we had a solar flare, and it takes a few hours to hit the earth. And often we are hit with this wind that we've had today. We call it solar wind. So solar flares are kind of measured. So yesterday, I've got written down here, we had a KP5 and a G1 geomagnetic storm yesterday. I'm going to tell you how you can monitor these things as well. In fact, I've put them on the slide at the bottom there. So if you want to kind of monitor these things for yourself. I know Izzy does this, who's on with the Schumann resonance, because she messaged me this morning saying I felt a bit weird. So I've looked at the Schumann resonance, and it was hitting 80 hertz. And I'll come on to the Schumann resonance more in a minute. So let me explain this, how they measure the solar flares. So we had a KP5 and a G1 geomagnetic storm yesterday. The KP index is the Global Geomagnetic Activity Index, and it ranges from 0 to 9. So yesterday we had a 5, not too bad. And then the G1 is a measurement, and it will not affect human health on the Earth's surfaces, but it will cause a relatively minor disruption to power grid fluctuations and satellite operations. So often, sometimes satellites are affected. You might find your electronic devices are behaving a bit weird. So those kind of things happen with a solar flare. Now, the solar flare can also affect us because it affects our geomagnetic field, and it can affect our heart and brain. This has been proven scientifically. And in turn, that affects our ability to tap into the field. So if you're feeling a bit off and a bit disconnected spiritually, this is the effect that solar flares can have. Now, another thing that a solar flare can do, I was reading yesterday that it's believed that they unearth cellular memories that we have within us. So this could be from past lives, or maybe traumatic things that we've forgotten as a child. So when you're feeling really off and depressed and anxious and you don't know why, which was me yesterday, it could be these solar flares just unearthing these cellular memories that you don't really remember, that are held in your subconscious, but they're unearthing them and they're making you feel uneasy. You can probably all relate to that. Now, Schumann resonance. So this is kind of the vibration of the earth, and it's a scientific thing. There are various places where you can go to check. So I've put the website there, but there is actually an app that you can download from that website as well. So you've got the app on the phone, so you can keep an eye on it. So with the Schumann resonance, this is a scientific explanation. It's a set of spectrum peaks in the extremely low frequency, which is ELF, portion of the Earth's electromagnetic field spectrum. Now, when the Schumann resonance spikes, so that big white bit there is a spike. When it spikes, we are then hit with ascension symptoms, or what's termed as energy sickness. So I'm sure you can all relate to these symptoms. These are some of the things that could happen to us. So ringing of the ears is a big one for me. This morning, about 6:45, I got a massive in that ear. And I guessed the Schumann resonance was doing its thing. And I'm sure, well, I know from speaking to some of you, ear ringing's a thing. All of a sudden, you might feel sick and dizzy. You might feel irritable. Everybody kind of reacts in a different way. I wouldn't say that everybody gets the same symptoms. It depends where you are on your ascension journey, I think. You could all of a sudden feel really, really tired, and I recommend you just have a sleep when that happens. So this is a screenshot of the 26th. We're on the 28th. And a great lady to follow on Facebook. In fact, I'm just going to get that up for you. Great, Ems has joined us now. So can you all see this Facebook page, Schumann Resonance Updates with Marguerite? She's absolutely brilliant at keeping you up to date on what's going on, but explaining what's going on. And just earlier, can you see this? 2 hours ago. Now she's based in the US, so I think it's EST time, so you just have to translate that to our time. Look at this wall of red on the Italian Schumann resonance. She explained the other day, it doesn't matter whether it's the Italian or the Russian resonance, it affects the whole world. Look at that wall of red. So it says here, the highest energies that actually blow out the charts registry is the colour white. So you saw that white one that I had up earlier. Let me get that back up. So white is the highest energy on the Schumann resonance. That's what we had yesterday. And then it says yellow, orange, red, and purple and violet are also colours above and beyond the normal Schumann resonance. Now, the last thing I wanted to say on this, just let me check the chat. Yeah, Ems gets ear ringing at night time. Yeah, it's a common one, that is. And just so you know, I sent this to Izzy yesterday. There was something amazing I read about our ears because I've had an ear issue. In the cochlea is referred to as the galactic spiral, and it can really be affected with what's going on at the moment with the ascension energies. And I know I've got another client who's waiting to see an ENT consultant because she's got constant tinnitus and ringing, you know, so I think some of this is responsible for this. Now, the Schumann resonance years ago always used to resonate at about 7.83 hertz. Yes, this morning it was at 80. Then in April, it actually went up to 236. Solar flares. Sorry, go ahead.
It's at 87 at the moment.
87 at the moment, you just looked. So there's a pattern where things are getting stronger and stronger, and we're getting hit by more solar flares, and the Schumann resonance is getting higher and higher and higher. Why do you think that is? I think it's because we're leading to the ascension of this planet, so the big ascension. So the light's getting brighter, the sun's sending more light our way, the Schumann resonance is speeding up our ascension symptoms. My opinion is this is all happening because it's leading to this ascension of this planet.
I watched a post the other day on YouTube, and it was saying that what we talk about, the solar flash, can happen anytime between now and 2028.
Right, okay.
And it's the more that people awake and rise to the fifth dimension, the quicker it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So as those more, so what it does, and I might be jumping the gun, so tell me to shut up if I am, is it's sort of like it starts connecting our DNA strands.
Yeah.
So are you going to cover that?
No. So this is as we're ascending.
Yeah.
Our DNA
What it does, I think at the moment we've got 3 DNA strands connected.
2. We've got 2. Yeah.
We can go up to, I think I read that you can go up to 19.
Okay.
So what's happening is through the ascension process, or not all of them, but our DNA strands will be reconnected. And that's when, I think it's up to 6, and that's when we go into 5th dimension.
Yeah.
And so what will happen is when we go into the 5th dimension and we've got our 6 strands, we will vibrate at a higher, obviously a higher vibration. And then it's what we say, the new world. It's like, as they say now, there are other beings walking among us, but they're a higher vibration. And when we move to a higher vibration, to the 5th dimension, we will be able to see them.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Interesting.
we're starting to put in drip feeding in about other planets and other life systems, because at some point it's going to happen, and then we'll start seeing other races.
Well, hopefully that's before 2028. So we just all need to keep our light quotas up, don't we, and keep our vibrations high so that we can get there as soon as possible. So thanks for that, Izzy. Now Sharon is going to talk about crystals that can help us with these energies, but I thought just before we do that, does anybody want to share what techniques they have to deal with these energies? So you can either put it in the chat or take yourself off mute. Thought it'd be nice to hear from the group and maybe share some ideas. I know walking in the grass barefoot is a really good one, isn't it? Yeah. Claire, rest. Yeah. When can we fit that in?
Drinking lots of water helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you know what? Yesterday and today, I can't stop drinking water.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in the middle of a desert and I just need water all the time. Yeah, definitely.
I felt the past couple of days I felt really heavy. My body feels really heavy. So I've been doing meditation and grounding. Plus I just try and get rid, I don't know whether it's excess energy I've got, or you know, where the vibration is bringing up all the, as you was talking earlier on about all the past lives and the rubbish really that we've got to get rid of before we can ascend. So I've been doing grounding and sending any unwanted energy into Mother Earth to be recycled.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's a good idea. And Claire, poor thing who's got COVID at the moment, finds the symptoms are causing a really dry throat. Yeah, I think that's why we need to drink loads, isn't it? Because we're just drying up. Lemon water, Brenda's saying. Yes, I used to drink that when I got up in the morning. I forgot, so I need to start doing that again. Helps you absorb the minerals from the water, right?
Yeah,
I should do that.
It's really good, isn't it? And it helps alkalize your body as well. So it keeps your pH levels in your body balanced, drinking lemon water in the morning. So it's really good. Yeah,
brilliant. And CBT tea. Oh, that'll be the tea that we bought together, Claire. Yeah, I've been having my chamomile CBD tea at night.
I need to get some of that.
Yeah, it was off the artisan fair when it was in Northwich, but I'm pretty sure you can get it online. Yoga's good as well. I've been to yoga today and I cycled there along the river, and just being in a different location doing my yoga as well, because of the pandemic I was doing yoga here at the home, thinking I'll just carry on with that. And then I went and had a session where this yoga teacher has built her own wooden hut in her garden, and the energies are amazing. I felt really grounded after I'd been and done yoga today. So yoga's a good one. Okay, well, thanks for that, everybody. So let's hand over to Sharon now, who's going to talk about crystals that can help.
Yeah, so crystals are my go-to tool. And I love what Izzy just said about grounding and that grounding meditation, which is really important, like red jasper and any crystals like that are darker colored crystals, and like any crystals that are associated with the root chakra really help bring that energy in. You know, like what we just said, we're all energy. Crystals emit so much energy, and it's just like kind of centering yourself and taking a deep breath and aligning yourself with that energy and allowing yourself to feel the energy of that crystal. So red jasper is a really good grounding crystal for me. And like Izzy said, you know, you can just close your eyes and it really helps to anchor you into the earth. So if you envision like roots growing out of your feet, going deep into your earth star chakra, which is like about 3 feet below your feet into the earth, and then growing deeper into the core of the earth. And then what you can do while you're really breathing into this is like breathing in all that light while you're holding the red jasper. You don't need to be holding a crystal or a red jasper to do this, but for me, it helps me to focus on what I'm doing when I'm holding a crystal during my meditation, because I've set that intention of what I want to meditate on. And you just like breathe all the white light in and just envision all that gray energy that you don't need just going out through those roots into the earth and allowing Mother Earth to support you and nourish you. And it's something that like Mother Earth is there for us, is there to do for us. So it's not, so you don't need to feel bad that, oh my God, am I just like sending all my stuff into Mother Earth? Is that being really selfish? But you envision it as that's like fertilizer for her, that's like food for her, like food for her soul. So you can literally, once you've seen all this energy, like you feel all this energy draining out from you, anything that no longer serves you and you don't need. And you can literally envision roots growing up, like little green shoots. It, you know, it doesn't have to be in your space. It could be on the other side of the world, but it's like you're sending that energy in, and it's a good thing. So you're actually helping the earth by grounding into the earth. It really kind of, red jasper is a really good crystal just to help you feel supported and connected. And it kind of just helps you with that deep anchoring and groundedness to allow Mother Earth to support us. Because with the Schumann resonance, that's the Earth's energy and it's fluctuating. And, you know, with the ascension and with the planet going to that higher 5D vibration, there'll be lots of energies coming off. There'll be lots of energies, unwanted energies within Mother Earth that Mother Earth needs to release as well. We feel all of those. So just like staying grounded into her is really, really helpful. Another crystal that I love to use is tiger's eye. So tiger's eye is this beautiful gold color, and the markings and the sheen, and it's just a really amazing crystal. And it's linked to our solar plexus chakra. So it really helps you come into a center and align yourself and give you that courage and support and that strength that you need. So when you've got all these energies coming in, even collective energies, you know, there's so many things that go on in the world that make us feel angry, which is fine. We're humans and we're supposed to experience those emotions and like let them flow. But then we need to remember to come back to our center and keep ourselves aligned. So tiger's eye is a really good one for giving us that courage and allowing us to remain sovereign beings and not get like pushed around by all these energies that are coming in. And the solar plexus chakra is like the chakra that we manifest with as well. So that's the chakra that holds a lot of power for us. So kind of keeping that activated and keeping it strong and keeping it centered and envisioning it as, you know, this amazing yellow ball of light that you've got like just below your belly button really helps to use crystals to kind of bring that energy in. You can like place it on your
Has everybody lost Sharon or just me?
selenite. And selenite is a really powerful cleansing and clearing crystal. Like it's one of the essential crystals you need in your toolkit, because it's so powerful. Like you can put other crystals next to it and it will cleanse and charge those crystals. If you have a selenite wand, you can use the wand to like just kind of wash over you and remove all negative energy that you don't need. And it really helps to strengthen our light within us. So if you think of the selenite as your backbone, and you can see, you know, all your vertebrae, and imagine that made of selenite. So it's really allowing, and if you see, I've got a big one here, But if you can, like, when you look at selenite, it really like has an inner glow to it. So if you imagine that like centered through your body, and it helps to kind of bring in that energy, so that all that white light and source light and all this divine love and universal light that we have in all the angelic beings that are there and helping us, and envision them all kind of supporting you and sending you that light in. And then you've got crystals like red jasper to help you transmute all the things that you don't need. So selenite is really good to keep you connected to that divine light and to like cleanse away all the muckiness and things that you don't need. So it really helps to like embrace the spirituality. It's also linked to the moon. So it's new moon today. It's a really good moon crystal, full moon, new moon, and it's got like, it echoes those moon energies. And even when you look at it, it kind of, you know, the color and everything, it just reminds you of all the moon, about the feminine energy of the moon. And also black tourmaline. So black tourmaline is really popular grounding crystal because it's also very protective. Most black crystals are protective, but black tourmaline especially is a crystal that helps to create an energetic shield around you. So you've done all this work, you've used your red jasper, you've sent all the energy out, and you're bringing all the energy in, and you've strengthened your solar plexus, and you want to keep it that way for as long as you can. So obviously this is something that we practice daily, but with black crystals, they help you to envision like a force field, like an energetic shield around you. So any unwanted energies that are trying to come in, because you're not at that vibration, they're not able to come in, and it's sending them back, but it's sending them back with love. So you're not just like throwing these energies out at anybody else or sending them to anybody else. You're just transmuting them back out with love. So black tourmaline is really good at doing that.
Sharon,
Yes.
can I just ask you a question? When it's a full moon, I have terrible trouble. The full moon just plays havoc with me, and I can't sleep. And I'm, I'm up every couple of hours, and I'm really, really tired. So, what crystal would be good to use then?
For, I would say selenite,
Right, okay.
definitely, black tourmaline. If you have shungite is also a really good energy protector. So if you're not able to sleep,
Yeah.
you're feeling all that full moon energy, and I get that as well sometimes, that you just can't fall asleep. Amethyst is also a really good one. Amethyst is very spiritual, but also very healing and protective as well.
Yeah.
What else do I keep by my bed? Black, like this is, I've got a moonstone bracelet on, but this is like peach. Moonstone comes in so many different varieties. This is like a peach moonstone. But if you can find black moonstone, that's really good to help your body to just like switch off, rest, recuperate, and relax, and get that sleep in. And it really does work with the moon.
Do you do any of them on your Etsy shop?
I have one bedroom bundle left, I think.
Can you keep it to me?
Yes, yeah, I've got one in there, and that's also got a tiny little black tourmaline pyramid. It's an orgone pyramid, and it's really cute, and it's really potent. So because it's been put into orgone like amplifies all the energies of the black tourmaline. So when I initially bought them, I put 4 like on each corner of my bed to see like if they would help me sleep. And then I think my kids found them, and I don't know where they all went because it was so small. But yeah, I've got one of those in that kit, and they are really good. So even labradorite, or however you say it, but that's another crystal that's really good to help, because it's a very magical quality in that it's a very high vibrational crystal. So it kind of helps you sleep, but then it also, like, we do a lot, right? When we sleep, we travel, we are like seeing family, we are working, and we're having all these crazy dreams. So we're actually using a lot of energy while we're sleeping. And labradorite is a really magical crystal. So it kind of keeps all of that energy that when you finally do go to sleep, kind of calm and peaceful, and is still allowing your physical body to rest. That's what we need, isn't it? We just need to replenish ourselves. And the worst feeling is when you've woken up and it's morning and you feel like you haven't slept at all, and you're just dragging yourself around for the rest of the day. So those are the only, and also those are the only crystals I keep in my bedroom. So I only keep crystals in my bedroom that are grounding, that will help me to sleep and to heal. Anything that is things like orange calcite, is very energizing and creative, and kind of, I don't keep too much quartz in my room. So I like to just keep all these grounding crystals around me, and I keep the other ones in other parts of the house. And I think that really helps as well. So I know a lot of people have a lot of crystals and then they're all in their room and it's too much. Like you can't see the energy that they're emitting. But when you're really doing this work and you really start meditating and you really start opening up your heart to the light, you really become sensitive to the energies. And sometimes, like you said, you don't know, sometimes you check the Schumann resonance, you think, why am I feeling like this? I'm not sad about anything, nothing's happened, but I'm feeling low. So it's important to keep your home and your space with like the right energy and the right space that you need at that time. Yeah, so sorry, hope that answers your question. And another crystal that I put in this kit for navigating these energies and grounding ourselves is smoky quartz. So smoky quartz is a really good one. So the smoky part is linked to the root chakra, like the dark smoky color of it. And then the quartz part is actually linked to our crown chakra. So it kind of creates this bridge within us, from our root to our crown. So all that energy we've seen, like we feel with the selenite of the energy coming in, we feel with the red jasper of the energy coming up from the earth and anchoring us into the earth. So smoky quartz is a really good crystal to kind of clear that pathway and to activate our inner pillar of light. So it's and once you start doing these meditations regularly, you can just like close your eyes and you just can envision it really, really quickly. So you can just say, when you're not feeling centered and you're just feeling like overwhelmed and there's too many things going on, and with me, it's always my kids like all speaking to me at the same time or needing my attention. But once you start doing these pillar of light activations and all these different little meditations, they do become little rituals and little practices that you can come to really quickly because you've done them so often. So you can imagine this light coming in and light coming from above, and it's just anchoring through, it's flowing through you, and it really does help you feel that powerful, limitless being that we are. So they come in, it really helps. Smoky quartz really helps us to embrace those 5D energies. Sorry, I just saw something in the chat. Yeah, so yeah, smoky quartz on your desk or work and next to the bed. That's amazing because it really helps to bring all the light in and allows us to use it as well. So that creates a strong pillar of light. And there's so many crystals. So these are just the ones that I chose because, we don't have forever in this webinar just to talk about all the different properties of so many different crystals. But these are just the ones that I chose. But any crystal that you have, like, well, most probably, they all have so many different properties. And if you feel you're drawn to a crystal to help you ground, to help you protect yourself, then that is the right crystal for you at that time. And our energies change, our needs change, we vibrate at different frequencies throughout the day. So you might be drawn to one crystal in the morning and and later on in the day, you're like, actually, no, I want this completely different color. And you might want to keep something like that with you. Like I've been keeping my moldavite with me a lot lately, which isn't like me. It's normally one of those crystals that I just kind of have put away, but I'm just feeling really drawn to that. So, that might be another little phase. And then I get bored. I lost my Herkimer diamond yesterday. It was really bizarre. I literally saw it fall from a shelf and I don't know where it went in my room. It just disappeared. And it was just a tiny little diamond. And they say when crystals disappear, they've done their work with you. And I had been working with that for a little while, but I didn't feel ready to let that go. And I'm determined to find it. But it's disappeared. And I've looked everywhere. The kids aren't allowed to throw anything. No one's allowed to hoover until I've had another search. But they are really amazing. And you do become like attached to them. And you really can work with their energies. It's really good to carry them around with you to really like absorb those energies. So whatever your favorite crystals are, keep them with you, keep them in your pocket or your bag. You know, if you go for a walk outside, I love to take mine with me and like lay them on the ground if I sit down somewhere, and just take them in, just take the energies in, and they look amazing when you're outside in the natural light and in nature as well. So I've got this set on my Etsy page. Yeah, I've got my multivite in my bra at the moment because it's so small. I'm always worried about losing it, so it's the only place I can put it. Yeah, so I've got this set on my Etsy. No, it actually isn't on my Etsy yet. I think I'm going to put it up on my Etsy page. But if you're interested in these or anything else, just drop me a message and let me know. But I mean, if you have any questions about any crystals that you have that you want to ask me, or how they can help you in this in this topic, feel free. If you have any questions. Yeah, crystals in your bra are the best place, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just when you get changed at night and they all fall out on the floor.
Yeah, yeah, that's happened to me lots of times.
So I lost my little piece of amber, which I think I got off you, way before I even moved house. So I just thought it was a goner and I'd lost it. And it turned up yesterday in a pocket or something
Oh,
that I
wow.
thought, oh. So I was obviously meant to lose my amber for a while, and then now I've got it back for some reason. Yeah. There's always a reason behind it, isn't there?
And also, even with this webinar, remember we were supposed to do this last month.
Yeah.
Both wiped out.
We'd both been in A&A in the same month.
Yeah,
Yeah, crazy.
yeah. And different symptoms, but then when like you had that book which explains your physical symptoms in terms of your spiritual journey, and they both made sense, and it was like a sign from the universe to just take a break, focus on our bodies, let these energies in, and the energies at that time were really crazy as well.
It was like the energies were stopping us from doing the webinar last month. That's how bad they were.
And we listened to it, so you know, sometimes you do just need to give in and just say to yourself, well, this isn't happening today, so I'll come back to this another day, and it's fine.
Claire said she found a red jasper on the bookcase that she also got from you, Sharon. She thought she'd lost it. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it's funny how they go missing and turn up.
Yeah, I love them.
Okay, so thanks for that, Sharon. And what we're going to do now is a kind of a grounding. It's like a cross. It's going to be a cross between a meditation and technique, something a bit different. So if you have your crystals ready, just place them around you or just have them on the table. For me, you may have seen on my Facebook, I've made a circle around me, and I've had it like this all day so that the room can become nice and grounded in here. So I've got about 10 crystals all around me. Love it. If you've got your herbs to hand, have those ready. If you've got any sage you want to burn or Palo Santo, just give that a burn now to clear the space. If you haven't, don't worry, I'm doing it here and it will come through to you. So I'm just burning my Palo Santo. And this exercise that we're going to do will be in a PDF that's going to be sent to you after this webinar tonight, so you can do it again and again, no matter how many times. And that reminds me, I need to timestamp so that you know if you just want to come to this meditation part, you can go to that in the video. So where do I see the time? Somebody tell me the time, because I can't see it on my screen. You're on mute, Sharon.
Sorry, about 45 minutes in. We started recording at 19:02, I think.
Okay, thank you. Tinks is saying it's 7:46. Okay. Right, so that's the timestamp. Yeah, so you can come back, do this meditation and the video that I'm going to send you, and you'll have the PDF too. So start getting yourself comfortable now. This is your time to relax. This is your time to ground yourself from these crazy energies that we're experiencing. So either you can stay sitting on your chair. If you're in your bedroom, you can lie on your bed. You can sit on the floor, whatever's most comfortable for you. I expect this to take about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer. And I'm also going to read you a beautiful poem at the end that I came across today, which was obviously meant for me to hear, so I could pass it on to you. I'm just going to shut my window. So, starting to slow your breathing down, close your eyes if you want to, or just lower your gaze. Oh, shoulders down, tongue down from the roof of your mouth, unclenching the jaw. Just really starting to relax. Feeling your breathing slowing down. Give your herbs a bit of a smell. Can you smell that basil, oregano, thyme? You haven't got it. Imagine the smell. You know what it smells like. Allowing those smells to start this grounding process. Breathing in the scent of those herbs deep down into your body. The crystals that you have around you or in front of you or near you. Feeling the energy coming to you from these crystals. So from each crystal. Feeling those vibes, the different vibes from each different crystal. What are you feeling? What's the red jasper giving you? What's the smoky quartz giving you? And now imagining the energy from those crystals moving into your root chakra, which is your chakra at the base of your spine, and your earth star chakra, which is about 3 feet below your feet. So that crystal energy now moving into those 2 chakras. So this root chakra that you have, for me, this is a chakra that's most affected when we're feeling ungrounded. This chakra is all about security, safety, survival. It's your foundation. And when it's balanced, you feel safe and secure. You feel that your survival needs are being met. And you feel grounded and present. And when it's not balanced, which is often when the energies are intense, you could feel abandoned, depressed, anxious, stressed, ungrounded. Feel into your root chakra. Is it balanced or is it imbalanced? What does it feel like? And allowing those energies from the crystals to balance your root chakra if you do feel that you're unbalanced. Just balancing that chakra out now. And now I'd like you to take your focus to the bottom of your feet. Or if you lay down on the bed or the floor, just imagine now that roots are just going down from the bottom of your body or the bottom of your feet if you sat on a chair. Roots making their way down through the floor of your building, through into the ground. And this is multiple roots making their way down and out, through the ground, through the sediment, through the layers of earth, making their way down to the center of Mother Earth. And maybe you can smell the scent of those herbs as you're doing this. And the wonderful Archangel Sandalphon is here now, our grounding angel, the angel that sits at the base of the tree of life and helps with all things grounding and rooting into Mother Earth. And he's here to tether these roots, to make them as strong and firm as possible for you. And now that those roots are tethered, what I'd like you to do is imagine a cube. Each chakra has a shape that's linked with it. And the root chakra has a cube that's linked to it. And these shapes are often called platonic solids. And the cube is associated with the root because it's the most stable shape. So if you tried to knock a cube over, it would be difficult because of the sides of it. So this stable, solid cube is now making its way into your root chakra to provide even more stability. It may be a certain colour. And that's now lodged itself firmly in your root chakra. And now I'd like you to repeat these words either out loud or in your head. I am grounded. I am safe. I am protected. I am loved. I am supported. And finally now, I'd like you to imagine a golden light coming down from above in through your crown chakra, making its way all the way down your body, your legs, your feet, down into Mother Earth. And then bringing back up that golden light, up through your feet, your legs, your root chakra, all the way back up your body, your neck, your head, and coming out of your crown chakra. And just meditating on that flow just for a couple of minutes. So golden light coming down and through and out to the floor and back up through the feet, through the legs, through the body, the neck, the head, back up. And that flow of light coming down and back up. And feeling that energy that's coming with this, and down and back up, and feeling that energy, feeling energized out through the crown and coming back down through the crown, the golden light. Now that we're feeling wonderfully grounded, I'm just going to read you a poem. And remember these words for the next time you're having a tough day, you're being blasted with solar flares, Schumann resonance spikes, and you're just feeling rotten. Remember these words. This poem is called Let This Darkness Be a Bell Tower, and it's by Rainer Maria Rilke. Quiet friend who has come so far, feel how your breathing makes more space around you. Let this darkness be a bell tower, and you the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. Move back and forth into the change. What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the drink is bitter, turn yourself to wine. In this uncontainable night, be the mystery at the crossroads of your senses, the meaning discovered there. And if the world has ceased to hear you, say to the silent earth, I flow. To the rushing water speak, I am. And now we're just going to bring ourselves back. Wiggling fingers and toes, starting to bring some movement back to our bodies. Coming back to the room that we're in, maybe hearing noises. And finally, fluttering your eyes open. And hopefully everybody's back. How did you find that?
That was really good. I feel like I could feel like a wave of, like a sensation of energy.
When we were
That's
doing the light
amazing.
going up and the light going down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like covered in goosebumps.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I'm sorry about Henry. I'm going to kill Gary after this. Gary is a dead man, basically. Honestly, how many times do you have to tell somebody to be quiet while you're doing a webinar and he lets Henry bark outside my door?
Henry just picked up on the energy.
You're right. I never thought
Absolutely.
about that.
Because the other lady's dog joined in too. Was it Claire?
Claire.
So
I didn't.
dogs are very sensitive. Animals are very sensitive. So just picked up. on
I kind of liked it. Like I feel
Yeah.
like he activated something in my root chakra, because dogs are
Right.
way more connected to nature than we
Yeah.
are.
Okay, I won't kill Gary now then.
No.
No, I'll let him off. But Anita's saying that was lovely. Thank you, feel lighter. I didn't know Loki joined in. Was it on camera? I'm guessing not by sound. Brenda feels peaceful. That made you giggle with Henry. Yeah, well. That poem, what did everybody think to that poem? Oh, I just loved it.
Lovely.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? Let this darkness be a bell tower. It's off a TV program that I'm watching, so you'll probably all watch it and recognize the poem. I just thought it was gorgeous. Okay, so as I said, you'll get that in a PDF. Oh, Simone, Wi-Fi was struggling and fluttering in and out. Well, Simone, you're going to get the recording on email in a bit, so maybe tomorrow or the next day, rewatch it. That's a shame. Loki came and sat with you. Okay, so the dogs were picking up on the energy. Ems did her usual and went off somewhere. Oh, yes. Good, glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're feeling a lot more grounded after that. So our next webinar then, that Sharon and I are doing.
Shall we do the closing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to do that
Okay.
after I've talked about the next webinar. Shall I do it before? Don't mind.
Yeah, it's up to.
Okay, well, let's tell him about our next webinar then, and then we'll close. The next one we're doing is, it's always the last Tuesday in the month. That might help you remember. And this one's going to be more of a workshop kind of webinar. So bring your pendulums if you have them. But if you don't have a pendulum, don't worry. You can just use a necklace that has got, so like I could use this, that's got a pendant on the end. What we're going to do in the webinar is actually use the pendulum to clear our chakras. And that will be a practice that you can do as often as you want going forward. So we're really looking forward to that one. It's on July the 26th, 7 o'clock again, same time. Don't worry if you can't make it, because you will get the recording after it. Yes, I'm excited because I don't know how to do it. Sharon's going to teach me, and then we're both going to teach you how to do it. So hope you can all join us for that. And yes, let's just close down the energies then before we leave. So you can either close your eyes for this if you want to, or just put your gaze down to the floor. And I just want to, before we close, just want you to recognize how you felt when you joined to how you're feeling now. Remembering that the intention for this webinar was to learn how to navigate the energies by grounding ourselves. So do you feel more grounded? Tune into your body. Let it tell you. And we're going to thank the 4 archangels for protecting our space. And we release you now when we see them stepping back from our energy field. And the silver threads that were connecting our heart chakras, we just see those gently dissolve. And we now bring our energy back to our center. And we close this space with thanks. Thank you. So if anybody wants to stay on and ask Sharon and I any questions, you're more than welcome. But I hope you enjoyed that. And look out for an email with the recording and the PDF on it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries. You're welcome.
See you all next time.
Yeah, see you soon.
Bye now.
See you, Izzy. Bye, Simone.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye, Ems.
Hi, Brenda.
Are you feeling better, Brenda? Hopefully
Maybe she
she...
fell asleep in the meditation.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I hope you've woken up from the meditation, Brenda. Maybe,
Yeah, let me see.
maybe she can't
Let
hear
me
us.
see. Oh no, she did. She did. She wrote very cool.
Oh,
She
brilliant.
did wake up.
Well, I'm going to see
Oh,
if
that's
the what's his name? Nadal match is still going for tennis. Have you been watching it?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't. I've been so busy with the kids. I'm going to rush back and hopefully no one else has thrown up.
Whoops, I've stopped to press record so everybody who's watching knows that I'm a big tennis fan now. Let me just press record. Just stop the share and stop the recording.